Yeah, it could be an option for them to go into Moon. Ricki does sound like something I would like to see. We'll see if that is the call out here. I mean, you've got, I
It's
guess, the
such...
option for, yeah, I mean, it's so annoying
It's so
if you do get
disgusting.
that farm. It is. Like,
It's not hard though,
it's
John.
just the lockdown.
It's not really that hard. You just go Media Hammer, wait till the 20-minute mark, buy the shards, and then you're set. Your position for Ricki is now up and online, ready to go. It's so annoying. You just get slept out of nowhere. It's from a mile away as well. It's not like it's a short duration, short range. It actually is a fairly big distance that he can sleep you from. So I don't know if that's the plan though. It could be something weird like an offlane Ricki or a mid Ricki that we're seeing. I'm not 100% sure yet.
They've got the option for that. Like, it's super flexible for Undying. You can run the Puck, Ricki, and Jug in different roles. Jug mid used to be a thing, although into something like the Storm, debatable as to how well you can do there. But they've got a lot of good responses here. DogChamp do go into a troll for themselves. That's a very stable pause one to have. It does keep it does put DogChamp in that same situation where they have picked their 3 cores first, so they're going to close out with a support, which means Undying has enough time to ban stuff like the Oracle, which would be a really solid combination for your troll here. So you're more than likely not going to have that option for Undying, and they're going to have to think hard about how to approach that Ricki. Like, it's still going to be an issue, whether or not it's a support or a core. The smoke screen is still going to be a problem for both the Storm and Troll. The silence is just really hard to play into until BKBs come out, and that can be slower than expected, as we saw for DogChamp in the last game. So we're going to have to see if they do get the proper responses here. They do take out the Enigma on Undying's end, so preventing some of that bigger team fight from flying through, especially since you've got the Mars on hand. So more than likely DogChamp's just looking for a pause 5 that either sustains their troll or gives them some more team fight to play with the Mars here.
Fair. I mean, I like the troll pickup into the Jug and the Ricki and the Puck for that matter, because you're always going to have that battle trance available to just pop if you do get caught out by an Omni Slash or a Dream Coil. Not so much the smoke screen, of course, because that's going to silence you up, but assuming you have a BKB, that won't really be too big of an issue for the Troll Warlord. But we'll see how it all pans out as DogChamp. They do ban out the Beastmaster now. Just wanting to make sure they don't get cheesed again and they don't have to call GG at 27 minutes into this game. And Undying, surprisingly enough, getting rid of the Ogre Magi, which is not something we see very often, but I suppose it would have fit quite nicely with the Troll. Still, DogChamp do end up going for an Abaddon pickup, so that's going to make it even harder to be able to kill off this Troll and the Storm Spirit.
It does give them some good sustain coming out. Does not quite... It still doesn't deal with a smoke screen, but you can at least keep your cores alive with some additional HP with a bit of a shield on top while that does happen.
Ooh.
Undying do go for this Darkseer, so their wombo combo is looking great. It looks like we're looking at a Moon Ricki, indeed, a Puck mid. This is this is gonna be so fun to watch. Undying, they've got some great ways to take these fights themselves. Darkseer plus Witch Doctor, Vac into Cask. Not fun. Not fun at all for DogChamp. They're going to have to remember that as they go in. Respect how much can happen in a clump up like that. At the same time, DogChamp, though, do have this lineup that can just play pretty darn fast. You just need to hit those same timings on Ray Lisa. His Storm did go off to a good start in game 1. Right? Like, he was making good rotations down bot. He was finding some kills onto Saberlight, killing off the Tide. So if he does get that same beat up and hit the Orchid timing again that we saw in game 1, but finding those successful pickups with the Orchid, that could change the game here for DogChamp, and they're going to need to meet that timing now. We'll see if they can get that done. Undying, I mean, Moon Meander, Ricki, it's going to be a treat. You've already got the Jug to just spin out of the Mars Arena, so that part of your team fight is already taken out. We'll just have to see how else Undying does pick up. Vac into wall with Cask and Maledict. Very easy way to burst a lot of heroes down fast, and that's something DogChamp will have to respect.
Yeah, don't forget either, John. Once you hit level 6 in this Ricki and you have your Invis up, you can just get Iron Shelled and you can just run around doing damage without anyone seeing you. It can be very, very frustrating, especially as one of the supports, because this Iron Shell, especially at level 4, does do a lot of damage. You have this Ricki that's just invis, and if you don't have detection, you can't really do much about stopping it. So we'll see how DogChamp do plan to deal with this position for Ricki, and we'll see what kind of item build-up Moon does want to go for. For now, it's an Orb of Corrosion, which is fairly standard start. But I'm curious as to what itemization he goes for in this pos for Riki. Not too much being shown yet.
I don't know. I think you would have to go for maybe Tranks just to maximize your regen, and then just kind of see the thing with support Riki. If you don't get off to a running start, or even if you do, right, with Meteor Hammer up, the rest of your team will kind of have to pick up that slack or play with that timing. Like, look for a push early on with a Meteor Hammer, act as follow-up to your Witch Doctor, play around with the Ion Shell as you mentioned. But there is some downtime until you hit, say, the Ag's shard timing, because that's like 20 minutes. So they're going to have to find a way to fill in that downtime for Moon. He's going to have to just try to get in, get his smoke screen off, maximize his blink strike damage early on, and try to find that setup. At the least for DogChamp, none of them have anything like the Jug Spin, so you're not dealing with, say, a Lifestealer who can just rage before you get to jump in with your smoke screen. And in that sense, you should still be able to catch some of these heroes out. Squishiest target, though, for them to start piling onto is going to be Yaren. Like, all the rest of them are pretty tanky, if not tanky, then mobile on Raylalisa. So their best target's probably just going to be that support Rubik, and that could cause some issues. Like, you could try the Abaddon, but it's still an Abaddon, despite the nerfs in the past patches. It's still really strong. You have to dig through the shield. You have to remember that Borrowed Time is going to be a spell that's up there that you don't have an answer for until Eul's comes in. So target prioritization here for Undying is rather limited for that Riki.
Well, I don't know if they don't have an answer to Borrowed Time, John. Sleeping Dart is an answer. Just put him to sleep. Even for Battle Trance, right? Can't you just put the Troll Warlord to sleep with the Sleeping Dart once he pops Battle Trance? I know maybe I'm thinking a bit too far ahead, but I suppose that is one of the answers. Is just put him to sleep and just wait. Almost like an Elder Titan.
Yeah, it really is, and I just want to see if Moon can get that job done. I'm so curious now. I love support Rickies. You know, this takes me back all the way back to those days. You know, Boboka Riki was the one to watch out for. I'm sure Moon can deliver performance as well. But that item build-up, yeah, now I want to see it, Mike. You've sold me. I want the Ag Shard Meteor Hammer. Please, Moon. Give it to us.
We'll see. I may have just gotten you a little bit too excited, John. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I think just having the Iron Shell plus the Invis is already going to be quite devastating, especially throughout the early stages. Of course, neither of these supports really wanted to be spamming Sentry Wards the whole game, but they may have no other option. Speaking of top lane, big group up here. Luki is barely going to spot it out, or does he? He turns back around, but there's your ward being placed on the high ground. They're going to try and make the jump in as the spin is there, but do they have the damage? Moon Meander, he blinked right back in, but Tomato had already backed off. And I mean, Luki, while he does have to run all the way back to the fountain, should be able to make it back in time to get the first creep wave, and worst case scenario, they might lose out on a bounty rune. Probably not, though, as you look it down towards that those bot rune spots, and Creep and Bloody Nine, they're already in position to try and take those away. So it should still be a 2 for 2.
Yeah, it should be even enough on the start here. Yeah, at least for some time away from Luki, so the walk back and the TP, as you mentioned, it's not ideal to lose a TP early on, limits your movement down the line, it starts to affect you by maybe the 7-minute mark if you're trying to make a rotation out, and die in the laning stage as well. But you can see Moon, he's just making his presence known down mid. You've already got an early sentry to kind of block out any warding spots, but it does miss out on the upper ward. So Undying still has that pretty good start here for Bryle. As we will see the Storm versus Puck lane. This is fairly straightforward. You're going to have some opportunities to find kills down the line. You're already seeing Bloody Nine chasing down Moon.
Oh,
that's
he couldn't
always
get the
nice.
curse. The stacks ran out just a second before he can get the hit off. So he couldn't get the Curse of Avernus to get even more damage out onto this Riki. Looks like Moon is going to slowly make his run back down towards the bot lane. Of course, where he will be along there with Saberlight on the Darkseer. Creep is going to be there on the Troll Warlord, trying to farm up the best he can. He's going to have the support of Bloody Nine around on the Abaddon.
Yeah, and this is going to be a hard lane to rip through in terms of just pure damage, especially once Bloody 9 hits level 2, level 3. Once you've got the shield and the mist coil up, you're not going to burn into either the troll or the Abaddon. At the least, Saberlight's going to be able to get some good pulse off, but it is met with a creep wave, so it evens out, and you're not going to get that free EXP in the Darkseer here.
Yeah, that's a great little play there by Creep, not allowing the level 2 timing to come out for that Darkseer. And of course, Moon Meander on the Riki. Can't really do too much in the way of slowing down Creep, but he can try to steal some creeps away. Creep does get the slow off. Moon does have another Blink Strike, but he has nothing to blink to, and he is going to go down. Saberlight, though, does get a nice vac onto the high ground, but it isn't going to matter. He just TPs back down to the top, or the bot tier 1 tower. That's a very nice start here for DogChamp.
And this is where that support Ricki can kind of hurt. It just doesn't do enough early on beyond Blink Strike for damage. You do have some good debuffs with the Orb and Blightstone start. It's not enough to dissuade something like the Abaddon, so gonna have to watch that spacing out for Moom. However, up top...
Excuse me, Tomato does end up going down to the Jug there. Yaren able to pick it up, and that was the lift. I don't see a spear being committed, so I'm assuming Tomato must have been very low in terms of HP, but... that's a very valuable kill to get there for DogChamp. 2 valuable kills thus far. We may as well have a look at the mid lane for a second while we have a chance, John. Of course, Brawl and Raylalisa up against each other once again. Who do you favor here? Because I feel like Brawl on the Puck is going to have a better time than, say, Raylalisa on the Storm.
Yeah, the Puck's going to have a better time. It's already showing a bit in the last hits. You're seeing Brawl take control of this lane quite nicely. He has the mobility as well to secure those 4-minute power runes. So you're going to need a support to come in here from DogChamp if you want to give Raylalisa a full bottle. And we'll see if they get that space out. So at the least, Brawl's having a good start here compared to the side lanes. Side lanes right now for Undying are a bit weaker. You'd expect the Jug up top to be a bit tankier though. Hold up.
Yeah, he messed up the vacuum. He was trying to get Creep onto the high ground, but it doesn't work out. And even if he got him onto that high ground, I'm not sure he would have really survived. Meanwhile, mid lane, Bryle going for a dive in. Raylalisa ends up dying solo to the Puck. That's massive for Bryle. He's going to be able to out-level the Storm now by at least 1 level. That means an early level 6 timing. Once that Dream Coil's up, if you don't have Zip, it's going to be almost another guaranteed kill here for Bryle.
Oh yeah, that's going to be big for the Puck once that timing's up. And they do manage to find a kill up top at least. They punish that Rubik for overstepping Yar and does get taken out. So 2 kills coming out for Undying, just not the same impact. And the mid kill, it's nice. Your side lanes are still going off much lower than you'd want.
Every lane I look at, John, somebody's dying. Saberlight going down for what appears to be the 2nd time already. 3 kills going over to Creep as they also got a kill onto Moon Meander. Meanwhile, mid lane, however, Raylalisa being caught out again is going to die a secondary time. And that was without the level 6 timing on Bryle. He's just about to hit that level 6 while the Storm is still going to be sitting at level 4. This is going to be a really big problem. Bryle looks like he's set up for a very, very good game this time around.
Yeah, and a lot is riding on this Puck considering how slow the side lanes have gone off to. DogChamp just a bit late in the TP in from Yarn. He wasn't there in time to help secure those power runes. They need an additional support. Dubu just knew that he needed to meet that timing. They got a kill off the back of it, and well, there needs to be some faster responses coming out from DogChamp in terms of mid. Like, your side lanes are still going well, but you have to watch the Storm.
He's in trouble again, John. No one snares coming out for Creep, but he's still just range attacking. Isn't really going to be able to get the kill off onto the Void Spirit. Or, excuse me, the Darkseer. Damn purple heroes, John. Get me very, very confused. 5-minute bounty runes are going to come up as well, but will end up being a 2 for 2. Looks like we do have a bit of a stable.
Raylalisa?
No, we don't. A Dream Core is down, but Raylalisa is going to be able to survive through it as Bryle. He committed that underneath the tier 1 tower, and that just did not work out in his favor.
A bit keen. I thought he was just going to go snag that bounty rune, but now there's enough space to get that done. Although Yarn's here, just Raylalisa 4 and Brawl's 6, so you're not going to win that trade regardless, even with his support.
No, especially up against the Puck, who has a million ways of getting out of the sticky situation. Brawl just continues to spam orbs with this Arcane Rune, trying to spot out where Raylalisa is. Looks like Yaren is going to give him a tango in the end and just try to help him out a little bit. Brile just continues to get vision with this orb, and now Yaren trying to take the 6-minute power rune and does get a regen, but it may cost him his life. And they really have no choice in the matter. They need to deny these power runes off Brile, but now another Dream Core coming out onto Lisa, but does he have the damage? He has an orb in 1 second. Is it going to be enough? He needs one more, but no, the Aphotic Shield was there by Bloody Nine. This time Brile is forced to just retreat once again on the puck, but he has that bounty rune to go back to. Brile's really just playing this perfectly.
Oh, Saberlight.
Saberlight goes down Bob, but now Luki's in trouble up top, John. That Creep gets a double kill now on the Troll Warlord, but Luki is still being chased down. I suppose he is buying a lot of time. Melodic does wear off as well. He does have a TP to play with. He turns around for the spear first, and Tomato actually just going to assume that he's TP'd away. Or maybe just doesn't feel confident any further and does back off. And Luki now giving pings out. He wants to try and go for this junk kill. Yaren goes for the lift, but Luki didn't go for the spear. Bit of miscoordination there, and this might mean Luki actually dies this time, but no, he does get the spear off this time around. But Tomato is going to survive. Meanwhile, Yaren also survives through the Melodic damage. Bot lane, though, Creep is chasing down Saberlight in the Darkseer, but Saberlight is going to be able to survive this time around. Only just barely, though.
Oh, what a bloody game. Every single lane, every single side looking for opportunities to find kills. Everyone dropping low, but not quite low enough. Still 6-5, a slight lead for Undying. And they are starting to get some space on the map. The one lane that's still not working out for them, though, is this off lane. I'm looking at Saberlight, still 4.5 in terms of levels. Creep has been solo now, level 7. And that is a bit of an issue. This troll is off to a bit of a faster start than you'd want against something like the Darkseer lane. So this is a slower start for Saberlight. You're not seeing the timing into maybe the mech, into the Guardian Greaves down the line. And that can really deduct in terms of their durability here. Good to say, though, Mike, that Moon Meander is going for that Meteor Hammer. The issue is he's not finding a farm, so it's a bit slower for him as well in that pause for Ricki.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. He'll be right. I mean, in Saberlight's defense as well, John, it is a very, very hard lane up against the Troll Warlord. And he is basically doing this lane solo, as Moon Meander can't really help out that much on the pause for Riki, apart from doing this, but of course Creep is just going to turn around and hit him every time he does Blink Strike onto the Troll. Creep is getting closer and closer towards that Maelstrom pickup now, which is going to make Saberlight's life that much harder as he is still level 4. Another blink in, now Dream Core being committed. Brian wants to try and help out, and with the smoke screen they might have enough damage. But no, he gets the Battle Trance off just on the edge of that smoke screen. Bloody Nine does die. Creep will eventually go down. He tried to go after Saberlight, but Brile does kill him off beforehand. And Brile will just TP straight back into the mid lane on the puck. No waste of time here for him.
Yeah, that helps him massively, although Saberlight, not safe.
Lisa, able to kill off the Darkseer. I looked away for a split second there, John, and you missed out on another Darkseer kill. Nevertheless, you'd still argue that that Undying would be very, very happy with the trades that were made there.
Oh, definitely. They still managed to find a big one on the Troll. They are getting a lot more on Brile. There's some space up top to push, and you can see Bloody Nine along with Luki trying to shove it in. But Tomato is here. Does not have Omni up, though. So not quite enough damage here.
He doesn't. Looks like Saberlight also going to join in. Of course, they're going to try their best to hold on to this top tier 1, as they're not anywhere near ready to push the bottom tier 1 tower yet. Bounty runes are going to spawn up. It's like both bottom bounty runes are going to be left there, so Moon Meander is going to be able to walk his way up and just secure those for the team. But now top lane, Arena is going to be dropped onto Saberlight with a great spear out from Luki. Is it going to be enough? It should be, and it is. Even Yaren getting a lift off onto Tomato, but that's not going to lead to anything. They can still go after this top tier 1 tower, and that they will do.
Yeah, and it's absolutely melting. Creep just right-clicks way too fast. They're trying to pressure mid. Brile does drop the Dream Coil, but there's no follow-up.
Luki is going to survive another day. They are really committing for this bot tier 1, as Luki does get the Courier of Tomato. Moon Meander also dying to Lisa, but now Bloody Nine with the borrowed time is going to survive, and Bryle might need to back himself out of there as Yaren a nice lift up, but Bryle is still fine. Back onto that tier 1 mid tower, and now the Death Water even being committed onto Bloody 9, and they do eventually kill off the Abaddon. A mega kill now for Bryle. That mid tier 1 tower is a very valuable objective to get this early on, and that they get it.
Yeah, it's a big one for Undying to take. Allows them to start invading this jungle a bit. This is one thing as well with the Abaddon pickup. Like, you want to dispel status effects, but Maledict is not dispellable. So even if you get caught with it and you try to save someone with it, I mean, the additional HP is nice, but if they have enough damage to dig through, then the burst damage is still going to fly out at some point. So that's something DogChamp has to be constantly aware of. You hit level 6 now as well in Moon Meander, which means it's time to plant a lot more sentries on the map to watch where this Ricky's going. Basically walking Ward in Bloody 9.
Yeah, getting caught out. Does have borrowed time once again. Bryle gonna wait this one out as the cast does fly through from Dubu, but now a nice arena into the spear from Luki, and they do get the puck. Luki the one to pick that one up. They even have Ray Lisa around just in case there was a bit more to take, but it's like everyone does back off from Undying. You're still very happy if you are DogChamp.
Yeah, they're finding some key kills that they need to find. They are at a slight net worth lead. They're buying a lot more space here for creep. So he's given a lot of free reign up top to farm with that Maelstrom up, rushing the BKB, and this is the right play for him. Once that BKB is up in the troll, there is no control to keep him in check, and that's when creep can really start laying it in onto Undying. Undying, for their part, they're playing the slower game. They went for a Ricki support. That takes some time to cook up. They've got some good item pickups on Bryle. He's rushing his E-Blade. Once you've got that, you can really start bursting down.
Yeah, nice kill down at the bot lane, though. Tomato now going to get jumped on with an Orchid out from Ray Lisa, but is it enough damage output? It looks like it just might be, but Tomato does get the spin off in time. They have the right-click damage, however. While that was happening, Moon Meander does get a kill onto Luki in the mid lane, but DogChamp should be very, very satisfied with that trader.
Yeah, it's a big one to take on the Jug. It's been a slower game for Tomato. As you can see the farm difference between him and Creep, and they are rotating bot, but there's a number of TPs in.
They have borrowed time again on Bloody 9. Zip in, Ray Lisa straight onto the Riki with that silence, just to make sure he can't juke his way out. This Orchid on the Storm is really proving to be very, very effective this game, at least thus far. As now DogChamp, with the 1k net worth lead, are sitting quite pretty.
That they are, and it's that timing for Ray Lisa, right? We saw him hit the same Orchid timing in game 1, but this time he's got a lot more heroes to go for. They don't have to worry about an Alk free farming, which means that they can just go around, find these key pickoffs on other cores instead, or some of these supports to build up, and you don't have a worry of a runaway hero just out farming you in that downtime. There is some space being bought out for Tomato. He does have his Maelstrom flying in, I believe, into the Yasha Manta now. So once he has that, it should be easier for him to jump out of that Orchid, but the Jug still needs some time to cook up, and without a Battle Fury, it's slower going with just the Maelstrom here.
And it is. Bot lane back onto the Abaddon, and this time without the borrowed time, they should be able to secure this kill. Bloody 9 gonna try and run, still has the Maledict on him, and in fact the TP might be able to pay off, and does. He will not die in the fountain, he will be able to survive. Great TP play out for Bloody 9. And with that, they even try to pressure this mid-tier 1 now. However, there is going to be a big smoke up. Scream call up, they see Luki, and they are going to make the jump in with Moon Meander. The trade a bit off the mark, but Arena has been dropped still. Ray Lisa going to zip it, but doesn't get the silence. Onto the puck instead, catching out Dubu. And they even found Moon Meander. He did not realize he was underneath the sentry ward. So another 2 kills going to the way of DogChamp. And now they could certainly try to get a bit more damage out of this mid-tier 1.
Damn, they push really fast. You got to respect the pushing ability here, but the creep clear is there from Undying. So it's going to take a little bit more to jump into that mid lane, and that's enough to dissuade the side of DogChamp for now. So back to farming for Undying. Tomato's been given some space out again to keep farming into that Manta. Almost up, just the Ultimate Orb and the Manta recipe left to go. Still a ways to go actually on the gold. You are seeing some good build-up here in Raylalisa, and this is where it really starts to matter. He's going into his power treads, into Yules, although Yaren.
Caught out on that Rubik. A nice little kill there for Bryle on the puck. They still feel like they're in control, regardless of how these team fights have been going for Undying. They still have the objectives, at least for now, and with that little advantage, they feel so confident to just keep running through this Radiant jungle. It looks like nobody's going to be there to really catch out, apart from Luki. Luki, if he does run in, they're ignoring him for now. Bryle and Dubu, they've smoked through the mid lane, and the 16-minute power rune is going to spawn up, so Bryle will get himself a nice arcane rune. And that was not actually scouted out by any vision on the Radiant side. They're going to make their way up towards the top lane, where they do know Raylalisa was around. But he is hiding in the tree line. Instead, action might happen in the mid lane, but Saberlight does manage to surge away in time. Raylalisa, oh, they're going to run right into each other. Bryle doesn't get the silence in time. Raylalisa does. Now a lot of heroes rotating up from DogChamp as they really want to try go up this puck. Bryle, he's been left alone. The lift is going to be there by Yaren, but they do get the orb away into the Jaunt. Bryle has a TP. Arena going to be dropped on the right side to clear out the tree line, but it was on the left side they wanted, and Bryle is going to be just fine. Very, very nice juke there from our puck. Had he gone to the right, he would have almost certainly just been dead.
Yeah, good game sense from Bryle. Not quite finding the punishment they want here from DogChamp. They only find Dubu. They don't find anything, actually, and that is not the best use of time. A lot of heroes had to rotate up for that. Now there's an opportunity for Undying to go for a fight themselves.
Oh, and they found Luki as well. Easy dream call into the Ethereal Blade, and well, he's going to try and buy some time for his team to catch up, but it looks like he is almost set to die, and he does to the Spinner Tomato. Moon Meander getting very, very close as well to that Meteor Hammer now. And that 20-minute timing is slowly but surely coming around. And I'm still very curious to see how this does work out in the pro matches. Bryle does run into Yaren, Ethereal Blade, just blast down the Rubik. Nice easy shotgun blast by the puck.
Yeah, and unfortunately for DogChamp, I mean, it's a close game. It's 15-13, less than 1k lead on Undying. So again, rather even all across the board. You are starting to take some hits on Raylalisa's farm though, which is not ideal. He's starting to lag behind both Tomato and Bryle. Creep is still up there in terms of farm. He is rushing the Ags now on the Troll. So you're going to have that Dispel. You're going to have the lower cooldowns on your Axis, which is great. We'll have to see if it's going to be enough to be impactful. They do smoke up. You can find some good heroes down mid.
Well, they're going straight after that puck. It'll be a big, big pick-off into the spear and the arena. They blow him up. Raylalisa now going for another, but he is running low on mana. Dubu does not have a stun, luckily for the side of DogChamp. And with those 2 kills, John, straight into the Roshan pit they go. And of course, with the Curse of Avernus there from Bloody 9, you can take this even faster with this Troll Warlord. But the buyback is going to be there from Dubu. They are going to try and contest. This Tomato does get spotted, and they do still spin away by Yaren. Yule setup is there, but a nice smoke screen to make sure the spear could not follow up. Now Raylalisa going to try and go onto Saberlight. The Darkseer is going to die straight off the bat into a double lift stun. Omni Slash is going to be there, but it's not doing anywhere near enough damage. Tomato needs a way out, but can he find one? Probably not. Spin is not going to be enough through the right-click damage of Creep, and there's an immediate smoke up once again from DogChamp, but I assume they just go straight into that Roshan, and they do.
Yeah, without the Jug, without the Darkseer, it's going to be hard to fight into this pit, although...
Green Coil being committed here. They're still trying to fight this one out. Raylalisa almost got blown up by the puck, but not quite. Now Bryle, oh, he's stunned to a tree, or rather a cliff, but they do get the Storm Spirit, and they get Dubu. So that was a 2-for-2 trade, but Creep is still alive, and they can still go after the Roshan.
Yeah, not caring the world here for the side of DogChamp. Still, again, the wall has been dropped. That's enough to dissuade him once more from the pit. Just so much commitment from Undying to prevent that first Rosh. Could cost him another hero.
No spear going to come out from Luki. But it does delay the Roshan, like you said, which is very, very good news here for Undying. Meanwhile, Creep gonna spot out Moon Meander. He does not have any more detection. Well, they do bring up some heroes here from DogChamp. I don't know if they're really gonna catch out Moon. Suki does show himself now, and that'll be enough for Moon to back off. You can already see that shard is being built up now on Moon Meander. Very, very close, John. Only about 600 gold away. Even has 2 of them, just in case he forgets.
This is going to be something to watch. Still, enough time again to go back into the pit. Bloody Nine's there to help. And this one should go way faster. Undying still do not have vision down. And they've stopped throwing heroes out, so... Looks like it's going to slip through in the end, and that's going to be a big win now for DogChamp, as they do have more leeway for Raylalisa to go into these fights with that Aegis up.
Zip straight in. They would have loved to go after Saberlight, but now the smoke screen is there onto the Storm. Raylalisa is in massive trouble. The spin is there. Yules is going to buy him time, and he should be able to zip away. In fact, he goes back in after Saberlight. Yeah, the Meteor Hammer does fly in. It doesn't really prove to be enough, though, as DogChamp is going to fight back. Fryle trying to run with the ethereal form is probably not going to make it out. Raylalisa able to help get another kill. This one going to Luki. And DogChamp, John, they're looking really good in this game number 2.
Oh, that they are. Raylalisa off to a running start. He does lose the Aegis, but it doesn't matter when you find the rest of these heroes. Tomato just not able to do much on this Jug this game. He didn't actually finish his Maelstrom. So he is going for that now, and that has slowed down his farm. But compared to the Troll, he's really lagging behind in a big way. The team fights aren't lining up yet, and
yeah, Sentry Ward right there. He's going to get blown up again. He really wants that shards up ASAP, but he's not quite getting it. Still around 400 gold away from picking up that shards. Just needs about a minute to farm up.
Yeah, and you're hitting some good spikes here for Undying. They've got the Ags up and Saberlight, so you do have durability coming out from Iron Shell. That pocket 350 HP could make a big difference in these fights, as it's almost kind of the same effect as you get from, say, a Abaddon on the other side. So you do have some spikes coming out. Maybe that Sleeping Dart is going to be enough for Moon once he has it up. It's like 300 gold off. He just needs it. And Undying just needs to get their fights together. Right now, they're playing into DogChamp's hand. They haven't been able to get off an initiation of their own on the targets they'd want to jump, and it's getting harder to actually find that angle. The BKB on Creep has made it impossible to hold down the Troll, and he's just able to run in, pop his Battle Trance, doesn't care about the smoke screen as long as BKB is up. His Ags is pretty much flying in now as well, so you have to contend with these whirling axes with the dispels up, and that's just so much more annoying for the Troll. So major spikes coming out for DogChamp and Undying. They just don't seem set yet to deal with all of these hurdles on hand.
No, they are not, John. See what the plan is very, very soon is you kind of really want an Aghanim Scepter up on Brawl to really lock down these heroes now, but with that Ethereal Blade up, he did delay his Aghanim's timing, and looks like he's more than happy to just wait it out for another time. It's 5k net worth lead on DogChamp, though. Undying is going to have to be just a little bit more careful, especially while they wait for their Jug to keep that farm up. Tomato, I mean, you already talked about it, but he is falling a little bit behind here, just about 4k behind the Troll. What's Dota Plus thinking right now? It's just 71% for DogChamp, which really isn't too bad with only a 5k net worth lead. It's quite a high probability for them right now to draw out this series 1-1.
Yeah, and that does help them get off to a better start in the BTS Pro Series Season 5. You don't want to start with a 2-0. Of course, Undying would love to start with a 2-0. So they're going to have to throw out all the stops here to get that done. I'm wondering now if Saberlight goes for that normal punch. I've seen this. It's actually really annoying to play against. I swear to God. I've seen Darkseer and Tusk on the same side. Walrus punch plus normal punch is actually really annoying to play against. It's a big meme, but I enjoy watching it. The issue is, it's not a big priority item, but I'd still love to see it down the line. Still, Saberlight saving up for his BKB. That's going to be the key item for the next set of items for our heroes, BKB for Saberlight, BKB for Lisa. And once you have that up, it gets a bit easier for both sides to kind of approach these fights. But we need to start seeing these spells line up for Undying. It's much more pertinent for them to hit those initiation spells that they need to, especially since that Ags for creep is done. So the dispel it's on hand and it becomes harder to hold the troll down.
That it does. Moon, he's trying to sneak up behind this creep wave. There's no sentries down, so creep can't see him right now. Media Hammer just to try and clear this out. They even bother trying to chase down the Riki. Not really, they're just going to try and take down this tier 2 top tower. A preemptive sentry ward right by that tier 2 just in case he does try to move his way in. But Moon is just focused in on just trying to stop this next creep wave as well. Trying to get his own farm up, but he has the shards up now at least. Meanwhile, mid lane, they were trying to set up onto Lisa, but he's going to be just fine as the Dream Call didn't really connect. With that Undying, forced to back off once again.
Yeah, it's starting to be a bit scary here. You look at this puck, no Ags queued up for Brawl. So you're not going to have that break through the BKB. You're not going to have a wait to stun through the BKB. And Lisa, zip.
Nice zip in onto Moon. Meander is going to pick off the Riki once again. Again, I believe he's already bought out the shard, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. But in terms of the impact of this support Riki, it really hasn't been there thus yet. So we are currently just waiting to see how much impact this position for Riki is going to have. As of now, it is very, very minimal. But bot lane, Lisa getting very, very low on the Storm. He's going to be able to survive as creep does TP in to try and get a bit of a return. It's a Saberlight, but the wall was also dropped into the vac. Looks like Saberlight is going to be just fine to search his way out. Still, the cutoff is going to be there from Luki, if he does manage to spot out the Starks here, but no, the arena was just barely off target, and even the spear does not latch on to that big tree trunk. Luki's still trying to chase him down, does give vision for the lift, but Saberlight is going to be fine to back off. That is very unfortunate there for our Mars.
That's so strange. Why does that tree trunk not count as a obstacle to clip onto? That's just so strange. Would have maybe been a kill. Still a bit of a difficult one, as Undying did have a couple of bodies ready to go, and they had the TP point on that tier 1 tower. Although
they got the sleeping dart out onto the troll, but it wasn't enough time to get the Meteor Hammer. Still, they do get the Ethereal Blade back, not going to break the Dream Coil. And I think they really wanted that snap, but another sleeping dart into the Meteor Hammer now. Creep is not going to pop the Battle Trance yet. Lisa does jump in onto the Punk. They really want him dead, and Brawl does go down. Meanwhile, Tomato spins away, but he goes back onto Creep. But Creep is life-stealing his way back up to victory. In fact, he's just going to back off for a bit as Bloody Nine was on the front lines. Saberlight is going to tie to Lisa on the Storm. And it's still another 2 kills going in the way of DogChamp. Nobody dies in this Radiant team. If they're going to go after that bot tier 1 tower, but Moon is going to be there to slow him down.
I mean, it's annoying, but it's just not doing enough, especially since you can dispel the sleep anyway with the Abaddon. So your opportunity is just constantly sleeping Creep.
It's a ninja, John. It's Moon's ninja way, as they say in Naruto. Creep now has the Archer up going into the S and Y. Now this, he cancels the TP in time into the Meteor Hammer, but it's not going to be timed well. Creep going to be just fine, but you see how annoying it is, John. You just can't ever trust that you're going to be able to TP away.
I guess so. It's mentally fatiguing, I guess. It's just that they need to play with its combination now. Something needs to happen. Moon Meander is saving up for an Aether Lens next for more range. That's just ridiculous.
Of course.
Once he finds it.
What else would you do, John?
Oh, God help us. We'll see. They need to find more pickups. It's 5k lead still for DogChamp. You've still got this massive gap between Tomato and Creep. Starting to close a bit, but still steady at 4k difference. And that's still a big item pickup between Creep and Tomato. It's not been an easy Jug game. Like, he just can't jump in, do an Omni Slash, expect to pick off. And the heroes are fairly tanky. The Abaddon compounds onto that tankiness as well. Tomato does have his Mjolnir out. but we need a lot more. He's going for the Ag Shard next to have more DPS through his Blade Fury at the least. That's going to be helpful. It's just that you need more to come in for the Jug, really. Tomato just needs some levels up, maybe hit his level 20 spike as well with the Ag Shard. That could be a big bump for them on the Jug, but that's still a bit down the line here.
I think it's going to be very important for Undying to contest the next Roshan. I think that's where we're probably going to see the next big team fight happen. You can already see DogChamp, they've set up for it. They're in a nice position, but they've got a bit of waiting to do for this next Roshan attempt. Meanwhile, Undying are going to try and force them back towards the bot lane by pushing in that wave, and because Bloody Nine can just TP himself on the Abaddon and get it done. But top lane, who have they found? It's going to be Saberlight. However, Dream Coil is there from Bryle onto Raidelisa, but he's just going to Yule through the duration of the coil, and he's going to buy himself enough time as they go back onto Bryle now. And that puck is going to indeed die. Yaren with the spin does manage to pick it up. Do you believe that the sleeping dart did not help out, John?
I mean, it's annoying. That's all I'm seeing right now. It's just annoying creep. Like, he gets slept, he's like, ah, not again. Once he's got status resist from the SNY, it's going to be even less sleep time. And Undying, it's just not lining up. Like, they're losing heroes one by one. They need everyone to be up, especially for this next Roshan. Oh, Luki finds one.
It's going to be Moon Meander being caught out here by Luki, and there's an immediate zip in by Raidelisa, making sure they get the kill. And there is also going to be a DC here from Saberlight. Just wait out this reconnection. Of course, on top of all this, John, Roshan is going to spawn up in 58 seconds. It's going to be some nice timing here for DogChamp to just go back into that Roshan pit and claim themselves another Aegis, as well as a cheese for that matter. And I'd say when they've got those up, these outer tier 2 towers are pretty much dead for Undying. I don't really see them being able to defend it quite yet, especially with the farm they have up on their cores.
No, they don't have enough to contest the defense too well. You're also seeing some item timings here for DogChamp. The Bloodstone's flying in for Raidelisa. So mana's not going to be an issue anymore for our Storm. He's going to have a lot more rain to zip in and out, a lot more mana to play with here. And that just becomes an issue as well, just as the game goes on. All of these items coming out here. We're still waiting for the Lincolns to come in onto Bryle. And then after that, I think we need to see the Ags. We need to see the Dream Coil going through the BKBs just to get control onto Creep. And speaking of Creep, his SNY is flying in, so he's got additional stat resist now, which means that the sleep's not going to last as long. And that does mean Creep shouldn't be as annoyed, although he's still probably going to get interrupted, but it's not going to be as bad for him. And I know, Undying is just having some issues. One big thing is really damage. Like, yeah, Tomato can try to jump in, Omni Slash, and then it's going to be down for more than 2 minutes. And then what? Like, even then, with Omni Slash, it's just not enough. You're dealing with a Mars who's tanky. You're dealing with a Storm who now has Bloodstone, so he's also tanky. You're dealing with a Troll who's super tanky, and then you've got Abaddon to toss the shield onto. You've got Mist Coil as well to drop some heals. There's just not enough from Undying, even if you drop this Maledict. It just doesn't feel like they've got enough in the tank, unless they get a massive Vac wall from Saberlight, which we haven't seen yet. So that also needs to start coming in. The Vac into Maledict, into Cast combination, just to get some more control and to disrupt these fights in a big way. I guess if you can pull that off, you can actually follow up with a really good Meteor Hammer. But DogChamp has been super disciplined to really split up, and it's hard for Undying to find that angle to maximize all the spells they have here.
It certainly is. Now, of course, keep in mind, Saberlight is playing on pretty high ping, so that is, of course, going to affect his own performance, but see if Saberlight can get those big Vac walls once we do get the unpause going. Question: Did you manage to see the new sets in Dota Plus that came up? I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I have no strong feelings about them. I think that's how I felt about every single seasonal treasure. I have not dipped my points in there. The courier looks nice though. Admittedly, it's it's a frog, right? A newt. No, it's one of those things. You know, it's cute in a unadorable way. Like, it's kind of ugly, but it's also kind of cute. I know.
How dare you?
I mean, it's not a very, cute thing, but it's cute, but also kind of ugly.
Right.
You know, it's that weird thing. You know, like how a pit bull is kind of cute, right? It's sloppy, it's kind of weird looking, but it's also cute. Right? It's the same feeling you get with that. I don't know. Like, would you buy the treasure, Mike? You've got a lot of shard points. I'm sure the viewers see when we go to the score screen. What are you going to spend that on?
Honestly, I looked at the treasure. It was pretty disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
No Earth Spirit. So, you know, you're
Earth
disappointed.
Set. I was very upset. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for an Earth Spirit set to come into this game that actually is worth buying. Looks like we are having some internet connection issues here for Saberlight. So the wait time might just be a little bit longer than we would have hoped. What is
I just saw a post. I was looking through, and I realized the one thing that bothered me from the Netflix adaptation was that Mirana looks so much better than her in-game model. Like, I saw a direct comparison. It's, oh yeah, Mirana doesn't actually look that good in-game. Whoops. Hey, maybe we get updated models. You know, that's a big one, right?
Yeah,
like, these heroes get featured, they get new models. Maybe.
I'm almost positive that we'll get a DK and a Mirana Arcana once the anime's over, or once TI comes around. I'm pretty positive we're going to get an Arcana for either of those two. Maybe even once the anime starts, they might just bring it out as a bit of a surprise. You never know.
Yeah.
I think it's almost guaranteed that they do it. It seems like a bit of a missed opportunity if you didn't, as Valve.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But that does mean we'll have to see some sort of like powered up state in the adaptation, right? Like, that's something Arcana worthy coming out from Mirana. Maybe they show that off. Maybe something from Luna. Maybe something for DK. Although, yeah, you know, that would be pretty exciting. DK just getting some more love. Probably one of the blandest heroes in Dota, but you know, it's fine. He's still fun.
It's important, John. If there's new players that are going to come into the game, you don't want to, you know, give them Meepo to play or Invoker or some crap. You just give them the simple hero to play.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. I play games sometimes with some lower ranked friends. I see some very talented Archon players, Mike. 50 games, 100% win rate. You know, there are some talented players there. They could easily play Meepo and Invoker.
Well, my question is, why are you in those low-level games, John? What are you doing, sir?
No, I have like lower ranked friends. You know, I have a lot of real life friends who are like, you know, Archon. Nothing wrong with that. I still like playing with them. But then I see the opposing Archons are just so much more talented. Now there's a generational gap between my generation of people who've been playing Dota 1 on and off casually. And then they come in, and then these new players come in, and they just show up with Broodmother, with Meepo, and it's just amazing. Sometimes I sit in these games, I'm in awe by how good they are, Mike. I'm just amazed. I can't wait.
Yeah, the new generation of players, they are very good, John, I must admit. Especially with these more complicated, cheesy heroes. Can't be Smurfs or anything like that. That's for sure.
No, I don't believe that.
No.
They're just really talented, and that makes me excited for the next year. What I'm not excited for is this pause. It's looking unfortunate for Saberlight, but you know how it is. Connecting to different regions, never fun.
Well, we've had plenty of experience with that. It's hellish, to say the least. We'll wait a bit longer. John, have you had any interesting Overwatch cases recently? I've been enjoying it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, you got in more spicy ones? I think we were watching a couple together. Give me some stories from there, Mike.
I don't have any stories per se, but I've got to say the accuracy of finding people that are actually griefing has been a lot higher recently. Most of my Overwatch cases are actually people griefing. And it's so sad to see how easily people give up. Like, Dota's one of those games where it's never really over until the Ancient actually falls. But you see these players, especially in the mid lane or the position 1 role, they die once, and that's it. They're breaking their items, they're buying a Shadow Amulet, and they're going to sit in lane invis. I don't get it, John. It's so pathetic. You know, it's what do you even play the game for if it's not going to be somewhat challenging?
Yeah.
Like, you could just play Minecraft or Fortnite or some crap, and you could, you know, you get your dopamine fix if that's where you want to get it. You don't... If you're expecting Dota to be easy when you log in, I'm sorry, but you've chosen the wrong game.
Absolutely. No, it's like that's why I love Southeast Asia. You know, Southeast Asia just tends to,
they never give
for
up.
the most part. Never. No, they like go mid and then they drag it out for 50 minutes. Drag it out for 60 minutes. You know, that's how every other game I get from like, all right, we're winning lanes and my team decides to throw. And we're like, all right, I mean, we're still gonna win. It's just gonna be a 50-minute win, not a 20-minute win, you know. That's Dota in Southeast Asia. And I wish it would be that way everywhere else. Of course you've got to deal with, you know, the all chat, but yeah, they ran out of pause time and well, they've got... Oh, it's actually Moon who goes ahead, so they don't want to have to put DogChamp on the spot. Props to them, you know. DogChamp just get to go on, and unfortunate for Undying, but they're a man down now.
You do have to give them props, though. I mean, they had the option. It seemed like DogChamp were going to offer them some pause time, but like you said, they almost refused the pause time, and they're going to move on as 4. Of course, Saberlight is being controlled by somebody. Maybe later on we'll find out who that was, but they are going to try and continue this game. Bot lane going to be forced in. Dubu, he'll TP out, but Tomato is going to stick around on the Jug. It looks like he's going to keep this lane forced in over and over again until somebody does come back to defend. Meanwhile, DogChamp, they can still play for that next Roshan timing, which is up in... It's up right now.
Yeah, they've got the courier watching, so they know it's up. They can start making their way down there. There's a pretty good group up from Undying nearby, though. So they should be able to maybe contest if they want to. Although...
Oh, zip in from Lisa. There's your Sleeping Dart coming out, but they don't have time for the stun. They do have time for the smoke screen, however. Silencing up Lisa, but now the arena's going to be dropped still. They are going after the Storm with the Dream Coil, but it's not going to prove to be anywhere near enough. They do take down Moon Meander. Now Dubu's getting very, very low. Creep pops the Battle Trance, but he's only hitting illusions. He keeps going through the wall. Lisa now going to go back onto Dubu, but he's healing up. Eventually they do burst him down. And Saberlight, well, he's disconnected, but he is eventually also going to die. It's going to be a 3-for-1 trade, and that should be another free Roshan coming out for DogChamp.
I mean, props to Undying. Despite being a man down, they still managed to get all their spells off, so whoever's microing Saberlight, probably Moon or Dubu, still doing a fantastic job, but not enough to turn the tides here. Roche being taken solo by Creep, and the Zip.
Lisa back onto the puck. It's a massive target, but Ethereal Blade is going to buy him some time. Static Remnant is going to be enough from Lisa. Nice Yule's play there from our Storm, and Yaren will give him the tip for that. Of course, Creep going to take the Aegis now on the Troll Warlord, and it looks like they want to try and run it down mid, but... Oh, Moon just calls it. Straight up GG. All right.
Yeah,
not 100% sure what happened there, but... Looks like with Saberlight gone, they may have gotten the call that he can't reconnect, and they just call it.
I mean, it's fair enough. They were man down. Even before the disconnect, they were already lagging behind 5 to 10k within that range. It was a slower game for Tomato. His Jug just didn't get the itemization he was looking for. I think that the divergence he had from Maelstrom into the Yasha Manta Rush instead, staying on a Javelin, hurt his farm too much. And that itemization did cost the build up there on our Jug to hit out. I'm not sure if you're seeing the same thing as I am, Mike, but it's Dota 2's offline for me. So,
oh yeah, no, the coordinate is currently being updated, Jonathan.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't believe me about the Dota updates and why we were waiting so long to start Game 1, as you can see, we are currently having another update coming through, so I'm going to say there should be a short 10-minute break, John, but it could be somewhat longer depending on how long it takes the players and us to update the game. Still with that, we do start off our BTS Pro Series Season 5 with a draw between DogChamp and Undying. And that makes us move on to our next series, John, between SG Esports and the Latam Defenders. Which should be around
LATAM, I think.
I'm sorry?
Like Latin America. LATAM, like Latin America.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah,
LATAM Defenders. Thank you for
Yes,
that,
sir.
John. My pronunciation isn't as good as yours when it comes to the Americans or the American region, but we'll move on to that next series, John. It is MLP Dota and JohnXFire. Well, now we're in offline mode. That's slightly concerning.
Yeah, it looks like Steam is down, so...
Okay. I'm not going to promise a time then. We'll see you all very, very soon, hopefully, after this update situation is sorted. We'll see you then.